Okay, so anyways, we're off to Lidl today. We're gonna give that left turn another chance. Right now on the navigation, it doesn't show that it's gonna take that route for us. For some reason, it's being a little bit difficult, so we will force it to go that way. As you can tell, we've received the update, the software versions.
There it is.
So we'll give it a go, and we're still learning along the way. And so off we go. We'll force it and we'll get to where we need to go. Some of the cool features of 11, you can expand this now. You can get rid of the navigation if you want to. And the strip comes down here, tells you what you're doing next. So we'll go with that for a little while. We'll see how that works out. Some pretty interesting features. Entertained the neighbors last night with the light show. Fun times. So Elon came through this year. This was definitely more hot than last year's. What he claimed to be hot, and people were calling it a half hot. So we're all a bunch of comedians in our own minds. You'll see a couple of things we've turned on here. The blind spot monitoring. So whenever the car does blind spot or goes to turn, it'll turn on the appropriate repeater camera that shows the direction to make sure you're not going to hit anybody. Probably meant for more cyclists in town, but when you're on the highway, I can see where it's pretty useful as well. So as you can see, came in right there. Looks good. The graphics look a lot better. This was a challenge for it before. It wouldn't accelerate, and it still doesn't. So we'll go ahead and we will report that on ramps. You should accelerate to the speed. We'll see if it shifts here or if it waits. Luckily, there's nobody behind us today, so we can let it do this.
Christmas morning, nobody out on the road.
Yep, except for us. Crazy beta testers for you. I really like the expanded graph here, especially if you're somewhat familiar with where you're going. I could see this being useful. If you weren't, you'd still want your navigation to see, so you could see a couple turns ahead. But we're pretty familiar with today's drive, so we'll enjoy the big screen and all it has to offer. We do have the car set to assertive, which we're finding out is pretty assertive. A little wide on the corner, braking there. Interesting, we'll tag that. That's probably the worst corner it's been. Came in a little hot. Alright, we'll see how it does here. So far, so good. Slow to get over, but
that tentacle moved over as soon as I came around the corner.
Oh, that's good.
So it was.
Oh yeah, the tentacle looks a little bit different. If you remember in previous versions, it was dots. Now it's a solid line. The dots oftentimes went behind the car before they disappeared. Much better job of not being dragged behind the car. Unprotected left.
Assertive toward the median.
Yep, we'll see how it goes here. It's seen this a few times now. Look at that. Well, by far the smoothest.
Yeah.
The smoothest event.
It's like it can't put the cameras together to see that corner until it's facing the post itself.
And look at that.
It's very weird.
Yeah, I think it's because the road goes downhill, so it's challenged in that manner. It doesn't see down the hill. So, and it made it.